You're listening to JFDI with the Two Lauras, the podcast for social media freelancers who want to get more visible, streamline their systems, master their mindset, and make more sales. I'm Laura Davis, and alongside my co-host Laura Moore, we're on a mission to make working as a freelancer easier, because working from home shouldn't mean working alone.
Welcome back to the show. Before I start, I want to give you yet another warning. I've given this on the last few episodes, but it might be slightly noisier than normal. I've got all my doors and windows open. It's quite warm today. My dog's been barking her head off all morning. She probably will bark while I'm recording this. If she doesn't, someone send me a prize, because that is a win. But I just wanted to warn you that might happen, because I do know sometimes when you're listening to a podcast, it can be a bit jarring if the doorbell goes or there's a dog barking or what have you. Unfortunately, it's one of those things I can't help today, but we will do our best. On the show today, I want to take you through the exact steps you need to take if you need a new client right now. And some of these things are going to be long-winded. Some of them are going to be like much longer strategies than others, but I'm going to take you through lots and lots of different things. If you don't need a new client right now, don't switch off. Keep listening, because some of these things, if you start doing them now, will help you when you do need a client. And it's always good to have a reminder of all the different things that you could be doing, isn't it? Especially if you've maybe got clients on your books who are low paying. You might want to replace them with a higher paying client, or someone who's just a bit of a nightmare to work with, and you might want to replace them. So all of these strategies will help you. As I said, some of these are much longer, long-term strategies than others. But what I am going to do is I am going to talk you through one thing that you could also do to bring in some income whilst you're waiting for some of these strategies to actually start to work. Because finding a long-term social media management or ads management or any kind of long-term kind of retainer client is a long-winded process, isn't it? It takes a long time for somebody to not only make the decision to hire a freelancer, but for them to go through the process of finding somebody, choosing they're the right person, all of that stuff. And it's very difficult to convert a brand new cold client tomorrow if you had a gap for social media. So that's one of the reasons that we always harp on about having your offer triangle in place, so that you can replace the income much quicker if needed whenever you lose a client, because those long-term clients take a long time to get. It's not an overnight decision to hire somebody on a long-term basis. There is quite a thought process that goes through it. So we want to make sure that we can still bring in income even when during those months that we are trying to fill those gaps. And sometimes it can take months. So don't feel disheartened if you've been looking for a long-term client for a while and you haven't been able to find somebody. That is totally normal. That's why you need an offer triangle. You need other things that you can sell whilst you're still trying to find a long-term client, right? So let's just dive straight in to the first one. And if you're not already doing this, I want you to commit to yourself that you will start doing this today. And if you are thinking to yourself when you hear what I say, I haven't got time to do this, then you obviously don't need a new client. Because the thing I'm going to tell you that you need to do is to show up on your social media channels every single day. We believe to our core that social media managers should be actively promoting their own business. All freelancers should. And they should be doing it on social media all the time, right? If you're an ads manager, you should probably be running ads. If you're an Instagram manager, you should be posting on Instagram. If you're a LinkedIn manager, you should be posting on LinkedIn, etc., etc., etc. And I know that's hard when you're at capacity. But if you're listening to this because you need a new client, you are not at capacity. And if you're telling yourself that you don't have time to promote your own business, then that kind of says to me that you don't have time to work on someone else's either. So it's really important. And when you have space for a new client, that is the time that you go hard and you post as much as you can. So if you normally only post a couple of times a week, beef it up, ramp it up, post daily if you can. And if you're already a daily poster, then maybe do some additional content, maybe spend some more time on engagement, maybe go and post on another platform, maybe do more stories, whatever it is you need to do. This is the first thing that you need to do. If you are expecting somebody to hire you to look after their socials, whether it's organic or paid, you need to be showing up on socials to prove that you believe and practice what you preach. And so often social media managers will come to us and say that they looking for a client, they've got space, blah, 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 they're struggling to find anyone, and we'll go and look on their channels and they haven't posted in weeks. Over the years, we've had so many people ask us for referrals for social media managers and ads managers, and we send them to whoever fits at the time in terms of a referral. And what then happens is these people go on their social channels, they come back to us and they go, oh, no, I don't think they're looking for clients. They haven't posted for ages. Or, oh, no, I don't think they're in business anymore. Last time they posted was 6 months ago. and all of these sorts of things. You need to look like you're open for business. And if you don't look like you're open for business, people are not going to contact you. And let me tell you, we've done research around this. We know for a fact that when people are looking to hire somebody to help them with their social channels, they will go and look at your social channels. They may not contact you that way. They may contact you via email or via your website or whatever, but you better believe they are looking at your social channels and they are making a judgment. And they're not necessarily making a judgment based on the vanity metrics they can see. They're making a judgment to see whether you are putting enough effort into your business, so therefore they can trust you to put effort into theirs. And if you're not, it's not a good look. But also, if you're not showing up on your social channels, you're not reaching more people, and you need to reach more people so you can try and get a client. So that's the first thing. Start posting on social, or start posting on social more than you already are. And that should be a constant thing that you should be doing constantly. So if you haven't posted in a while, take this as your sign to prioritize this. It's such an important piece of always trying to fill those gaps with long-term clients. And when we come on to talking about other things, you'll see where this also fits in. Before I get on to the next one, now is a good time to tell you that I've actually put all of this together in a really easy to use checklist for you so that you can always refer back to this. So if you want to get a copy of that, DM us on Instagram with the numbers 196. That's the number of this episode. So DM us 196 and we'll send over a copy of this whole checklist over to your inbox, so you can just check everything off and you can just keep it on file for any time that you need to get yourself a new client. Second thing is to follow up with lost or warm leads. I'm not talking about cold pitching. If you've listened to our podcast over the years, you will know Laura and I do not believe in cold pitching. Especially if you're trying to find a client, it will take you so much longer to convert a cold lead than it will for you to convert somebody who is slightly warm and has a relationship with you. So anyone you have spoken to in the past who hasn't converted, go back to them. If they had a problem back then, they probably still have a problem now, unless they've hired somebody else in your place. And even if they did hire somebody else in your place, that doesn't mean to say that they're happy with that person, that they still have that person's getting them results, that they wouldn't be open to a conversation about working with somebody else. If you're in the membership, go and log into the members portal and find the 5-minute follow-up email. You can send that to anyone and it will just build that relationship back up. But what you want to do is you want to just go back through your records. This is why we always say it's so important to have really good records and use some sort of CRM so you can remind yourself of the conversations you've had with people over the past months, however long it is. And go and check in with those people. Go and ask them what's happening. Mention something you've spoken to them about before and just check in. You're not necessarily sending them an email saying, hey, have you got any work for me? You're just checking in and you're following up and you're asking whatever it is that you spoke about last time, if that's still happening, or if maybe you spoke to somebody 6 months ago and they said, actually, I don't need any help right now, but we're launching a new product in 6 months' time. We might need your help then. Go and check in with them. Hey, how's your new product coming along? Do you need any help yet? I'm still around. Those sorts of conversations are so important. So follow up with any warm or lost leads. That could be anyone you've ever had a conversation with in DMs, in your inbox. It could be people who have filled in your application form but maybe not taken the next step. People who you've been on a discovery call but you didn't maybe convert them. People who you sent a proposal to but they didn't convert for whatever reason. Past clients. People who've bought your power hours from you. People who've bought anything from you, really. Just it's those people that you have had some sort of connection with that you can go back and follow up with. And so that is number 3, follow up with your past clients. If you would consider working with them again, go get back in touch with them. So often, social media managers lose clients to somebody cheaper or somebody who claims to be better, whatever. And it's quite obvious from the outside as you're looking at their content that actually it's gone right downhill. But those social media managers never go and check back in with that client. And I think that's such a missed opportunity. Go back and check in. How's things going with your new social media manager? I hope everything's great. But just to let you know, I'm still around if you ever need any help. Or if you want an audit or anything like that, just give me a shout. There's no harm in checking in with somebody. And I know there will be at least one person listening to this podcast who will go, but doesn't that make me look desperate? No, it makes you look helpful. It makes you look like you want to help somebody, and it makes you look like you paid attention and you were interested in whatever conversations you've had with those people in the past and you've remembered. People love to be remembered. People love it when they get attention and when somebody has listened to whatever it is that they've said. So it doesn't make you look desperate. It makes you look helpful and friendly and kind. So flip that thinking straight away. Okay, so again, and as I've just alluded to, follow up with anyone who you've delivered any short-term services or offers too. So audits, strategies, power hours, maybe you do VIP days, maybe you have sold some sort of templates or digital products, anything like that. Anyone who has ever paid you any money, go back and follow up with them. But follow up with them in relation to whatever it is that they bought. So for example, if they bought a strategy with you, however many months ago, go and follow up with them and ask them whether they need any more advice. Do you need any more strategic advice? Do you want me to do an audit based on what we've spoken about? Do you want to hand anything off of that? I know the strategy was quite in depth. How are you getting on with it? Happy to help you with any of it. Do you want a training session? There's so many different things that you could follow up with. But think about that thing that they bought from you first. Did they buy a power hour? Can you remember what you spoke about? Can you go and look in your notes and bring back those things to the forefront and have conversations with them about those things? Number 5, I'm rushing through them. Number 5 is ask for a referral. So many people don't do this. So many people only ever ask for a referral at the end of a relationship with a client. But there's no point in doing that then if you're at capacity. You want to ask for a referral when you need to be referred. So there's lots of different people you can ask for a referral from. If you're in the membership, go and watch the Say My Name strategy. That will help you with this. But you want to think about existing clients, anyone you've worked with in the past, so anyone who I've just spoken about, who you're going to follow up with, those are people who you could also go and ask for a referral, right? And you want to ask them to refer you to somebody. People want to be helpful. People will probably want to refer you if they've had a good experience with you, but you are not top of mind. People are selfish. All they're doing is thinking about themselves 9 times out of 10. Or they're thinking about the dog's just weed on the carpet, or the baby's crying, or the phone's ringing. They're not thinking about you, and they need a nudge to think about you. But also, you need to make it really easy for them to be able to refer you. They need to know who they should think about referring you to. So what kind of clients is it? They need to know why they should refer you. So you need to be really specific in your ask in who you want to be referred to and why, so that they don't just refer you to the hairdresser down the road who's got a budget of £30. You want to be really specific, that you want to be referred to e-commerce businesses who are looking for help with their meta ads, or, I don't know, tradesmen who are looking for help generating more leads in Facebook groups. Whatever it is, just be really specific so it makes it super easy for them, and ask them to actually do it. The way that we explain this in the Say My Name strategy is to just ask them to refer you to one person. Because if you say, do you know any people? Immediately that's, oh my God, I've got to think about a lot of people now. But if you ask me to think of one person, that's much easier. We go into this in a lot more detail in the membership. So obviously, as I said, if you're a member, go and find that strategy. It's called Say My Name and it's in the members portal. Next strategy is to build relationships with complementary freelancers. Now, this is a long-term strategy. This isn't going to help you overnight. But if you think about all of the other services that your dream clients might need, then you'll know exactly who to build relationships with. So let's think copywriters, graphic designers. Maybe you offer Instagram, but you know that your dream clients also run Google Ads. So maybe Google Ads managers, all of those sorts of people. You want to build relationships with those people. And this could be a long-term strategy, as I said. And those people can then be your super referrers. You can do the same for them, right? This is a long-term strategy, but if you've done the work to build those relationships, then when you need a client, that's when you can reach out to them and say, I've got space. I don't suppose you've got any contacts who are looking for XYZ service, right? And in return, you can just check in with them every now and then. Hey, how's it going? Do you need me to refer you to anyone? Or if you've got a new client and that new client has mentioned something to you, like they need a copywriter or whatever, you can go to your contacts and say, hey, are you all right with me referring you to my client? Those kind of relationships are worth their weight in gold, but so many people don't put the time into making them. I would highly recommend that you do. Guess what? If you're in the membership, we have got a strategy to help you with this. It's called the Superhero Strategy. It's in the members portal and it will talk you through all of that. Okay, next one is one that some people don't like, but this used to help Laura and I so much when we needed clients. And in fact, it used to quite annoy Laura because I always used to get there first. But turn on notifications for groups. Now, back in the day, this was just Facebook groups that we would talk about, but this could be Reddit communities, it could be LinkedIn threads, it could be anywhere, right? But if you turn on notifications in certain places, and you could even use Claude or ChatGPT to look for these kind of conversations so that you can be in the right place at the right time, then this is a great strategy for finding people. You just have to be in the right place so you can comment and respond at the right time, right? Now, the way I used to do it is that when I was actively looking for a client, I would turn on group notifications in the groups on Facebook where people who I wanted to work with would be hanging out, or people who were, I was going to say related to them, but I don't mean like in a brother-sister way, connected to them, where they would be hanging out. So I'd turn on notifications, and then anytime there was a post in there where I could be helpful, I would go and comment as soon as possible. And it wasn't just things that were directly related to the offers that I was selling. So at the time, let's say I was offering Facebook ads, I wouldn't just comment on Facebook ads posts. I would comment on anything that I had knowledge and help to give. And in Facebook, I would make sure that my group profile was optimized so that people knew that I was a Facebook ads manager. And so then the more I'm commenting, people are like, who is this woman? Why does she keep commenting? Oh, she's a Facebook ads manager. That's interesting. I need a Facebook ads manager right now. And you can do this in so many different places. AI is brilliant to help you with this because you can plug in various different connectors and you can go and scrape all of these places and see where people are having conversations, and you can go and then build these relationships and comment and have these conversations as well. Again, it's a long-term strategy, but as soon as you've got space and time in your diary to do this, I would recommend going and doing this. Number 8, there's only a few more left. Number 8 is one that so many people are not going to do. Email your list. I can already hear you screaming, but I don't have an email list, Laura. Why not? If you've been listening to this podcast for long enough, you should know how important it is to have an email list. If you don't have an email list, please take this as your sign to start one now. An email list doesn't have to be massive. It just needs to be an email list of people who want to read your emails. And ideally, those people are eventually going to want to become a client of yours. So you just need to email your list. You tell them that you have got space for a client. You can tell them all sorts of other things, but this is the most important thing they need to know. They need to know that you have space for a client, a space to help them. You've got capacity, etc., whatever wording you want to put it in. Because quite often, people will join an email list or follow a Facebook page because they're interested in what it is you're doing. Doesn't mean they know that you have availability to do it for them. Sometimes we just need to be told. And sometimes just seeing an email come into my inbox where someone says, we've got capacity, that will prompt us to have a conversation. Now, 9 times out of 10, we're not going to go and hire that person. But if we didn't have that email, we wouldn't even have the conversation, right? So you just need to spark those conversations, spark those thoughts, and at some point, somebody's going to read that email and go, oh, brilliant, such perfect timing. Yes, I want this person. And if you've been emailing your list over time, your list is already warm. They love your content. They see you as an expert. They're ready. They're just waiting for the right time to be able to work with you, right? So they're much more likely to respond to a direct promotion because they already have that relationship and they already know you. So they're much more likely to buy from you because to them, they've got a relationship with you. They're a warm lead because they're on your email list and they're reading your emails. The other thing that I would definitely recommend when you're emailing your list about having capacity is ask them to forward your email to somebody who might need your help. Because if they're reading that email and they're like, oh, that's brilliant, but I don't really need them at the moment, what they're going to do? They're going to just discard the email. If you've asked them to forward it to one person they know who might need your help, guess what? Someone will probably forward it. Maybe they won't all forward it, but when the time comes when their friend says to them, oh, I really need somebody to help me with my XYZ, they're going to remember that email and they're going to remember that you asked them to forward it. Maybe they'll go and find it and forward it. If you don't ask, you don't get. So please email your list if you have capacity. Number 9, this is really important, and this is how you're going to make some quick cash to make up for the lost revenue whilst you're actively looking for a long-term client. This is where you plan a launch promotion to sell a one-to-one or a group offer. So when we talk about the offer triangle, we talk about 3 different types of offers. You have your long-term kind of recurring offers, that's your retainers, your management services. You have one-to-one offers, so those are things like audits, power hours, VIP days, strategies, etc. And then you have your group offers, so that would be like digital products or masterclasses or in-person workshops, any sort of training, a course or a template pack, anything like that you sell the same thing to a group of people. So what you want to do, and bear in mind, you've got time for this because you've got space for a client. You're going to plan yourself a launch promotion. So a launch promotion is basically a campaign where all of your content, including email, is all leading to selling that one thing. So all of your content needs to align with selling this thing. Let me make this very clear. You are selling one thing for a specific period of time. You're not telling people, oh, I also sell power hours and audits and strategies and training. You might also like this digital product. No, you don't want to confuse people. Confused people do not make decisions. And when you are offering lots of different things, you are starting to make people confused. You need to tell them the thing that you're selling, why they should buy it, how they buy it, and when they should buy it before. So a launch promotion always has an open cart date, so the promotion starts on this date, and a closed cart date, so when the promotion ends. And the date that it ends could be the date that you just stopped talking about it. Or if you're being really strategic and you want to increase your sales, it's the date that thing either goes away and isn't available anymore, or the offer around it is no longer available. So maybe there's a discount, maybe there's bonuses with it, maybe there's additional time if it's a power hour, all of those sorts of things. Maybe you've bundled things together and that bundle is a special price, but that's only for a specific period of time. So on the cart close date, that then ends. So you want to plan a launch promotion where you are talking to people about the thing you're selling. And you want to talk to them about the features, the benefits, the problems it solves, the outcomes people can have when they buy it. You want to talk to them about maybe case studies, testimonials. You want to overcome objections. There are so many different types of content you can create for a launch promotion. It's not a case of putting out one post saying I'm doing this offer, buy it, and another post saying this offer ends tomorrow. The more content you can put out, email included, the more likely you are to increase your sales. We know this ourselves because when we're doing any sort of launch, the more emails we send, the more people buy whatever it is we're selling. Same with social content. And it's not just for us. This is across the board. The more you post, the more you are likely to sell. So just try and do your best. And I know it can be really hard and scary when you're selling things because it feels awkward and icky, doesn't it? But you can still give great value when you're selling things, and actually you're helping people by selling things, as I was saying earlier. If you want more tips about launching, go back and listen to episode 192 because we shared in there some things that social media managers can learn from this year's biggest launches online. One of them we were talking about was the Yap Challenge, and at that time when we recorded the podcast, the lady who runs the Yap Challenge had made 1.2 million. She's recently redone her launch, and she, this time, has sold 12,000 spots. So if somebody can sell 12,000 spots on one digital product, you can sell a handful of things. You just have to tell people. You just have to put a plan in place to launch. But definitely go back and listen to that. That's episode 192. Okay, before I get on to the final strategy, I'm going to tell you the 9 that we've covered so far. So we said you need to show up on social media every day and post more if you're already posting. Follow up with your warm or lost leads. Follow up with your past management clients. Follow up with short-term clients as well. Ask people for referrals. Then we spoke about building relationships with complementary freelancers or other types of businesses. Turning on notifications for groups or communities, Reddit threads, etc. Emailing your list. And then finally, we talked about a launch strategy. My 10th and final tip for you, and you're going to groan when I say this, my 10th and final tip is to do all of these things over and over again. You want to repeat steps 1 to 9 until you have got a new long-term client, right? Once you have a long-term client, I would make a lot of those steps part of your ongoing workflow. So posting every single day on social media, ongoing workflow. Emailing your list, ongoing workflow. Using a launch strategy. Yeah, anytime you want to make more money, do a launch strategy. Following up with past leads. Yeah, whenever you can. Whenever you've got something to sell to those people. Don't just do this once, fill the gap for a client, and then put yourself in that risky place that you're going to have to start from scratch next time you lose a client and need to fill that gap. The more you do this, the easier it will feel. This is one of the things that we love to help people with in the membership, which is why we've got all these strategies that I've spoken to you about that you can go and find in the members portal. But if you've got any questions about any of this, come and drop into our DMs. You know how happy we are to always help you. So send us a message. We will help you as much as we can. And I hope that you do find yourself a new client really soon if you are looking. And like I said, if you're not currently looking for a new client, start doing these things anyway, because when you are looking for a new client, it will make it so much easier. Don't forget, if you want a copy of this full checklist, you can just tick things off as you go and be reminded of everything that I covered in this episode. Send us a DM on Instagram saying 196. That's the numbers 196. That's the episode number. We will send it over to your inbox and you can just print it out or just keep it in a Google Drive, wherever it is that you need to put it, so that anytime you're looking for a client, you know the exact steps to take. So send us a DM on Instagram with 196. I hope this helps. We will see you again soon.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of JFDI with the two Lauras. If you want more support, strategy and systems to run your social media business, join our membership. You can sign up at thetwolauras.com/membership and make sure you follow us on Instagram at thetwolauras and visit our website thetwolauras.com for more advice and support. Thank you so much for being part of our community. See you on socials.